Hello, everyone. My name is Sarah Ramos, and I am really excited to talk to you today about biohacking your metabolism with ketones. So let's get started right away. We're going to start with an introduction, talk about what ketones are, some benefits of ketones. We'll talk about some success stories that are going to absolutely blow your mind. So make sure that you stick around to the very, very end. It is incredible how it's completely shifting people's futures for the better. And I don't want you to miss that part. And at the very end, we're going to have an amazing offer. So let's get started. So my name is Sarah Ramos. I'm very passionate about helping others become the best version of themselves with ketones. I'm a former educator who has always wanted to create an unbelievable impact. In 2016, I was introduced to Pure Therapeutic Ketones and immediately knew that this was my vehicle to leave a legacy by healing people physically, mentally, and emotionally in a holistic way with no side effects. So a little bit about me. I am married. This is my family. I'm married to my high school sweetheart, Victor. We have a beautiful baby girl. Her name's Indy. And then we have a fur baby named Chase. As a family, we love exploring the world and inspiring others to live their best life. When you take care of you by focusing on your health and your emotional well-being, you become the best version of you. This will create a ripple effect of positivity, happiness, and longevity that will shift futures for the better. So let's get into what are ketones. So nutritional ketosis is the process of your body breaking down fat as a source of fuel and creating ketones. So supplementing with an exogenous ketone like Keto-OS is introducing ketone bodies into your bloodstream without doing the diet, allowing you to experience a range of health benefits. So some of those health benefits include abdominal fat loss, which, hello, women, we have stress and we tend to carry that fat around our midsection here. So ketones can help with that, gives you natural all-day energy, lifts that brain fog, that mom brain, whatever you have going on up there that is really keeping you from doing what you want to do. The appetite suppression is phenomenal. The muscle preservation of how you can preserve muscle, you can maintain or gain muscle. Hormone balance. Hello, we all need our hormones to be balanced to live an optimal life. Autophagy. Better mood, REM sleep is so important when it comes to our lifestyle, when it comes to living our best life. Better digestion, clear skin, DNA repair, that is the anti-aging part that I absolutely love. Gut health, and then calming the nervous system. So we are going to watch a short video that explains ketones and hormones, and I'm excited for you to be able to watch this.
I focus a lot on cognition, cognitive health, and also women's health and hormones. So hormones in the body pretty much impact every biologic process. So they're going to impact cognition, weight gain, metabolism. So pretty much every system or function in the body is impacted by a hormone. Hormones are sort of chemical messengers. And so if there's an imbalance in a hormone, it's not just an imbalance in one system, it has downstream effects that impacts everything else. I get a lot of questions from my patients about how ketones can impact hormones in their system. Your body doesn't have to produce as much insulin. That's a good thing because insulin is a storage hormone. So if you have a lot of insulin, it tells your body store fat right around the middle. So we often see that in women when they're moving into menopause, they naturally become insulin resistant. Beta-hydroxybutyrate can help manage our nervous system. So we have a sympathetic nervous system and we have parasympathetic. And in the sympathetic nervous system, that's our fight and flight mode. That's what we need to pull an all-nighter, to write an exam the next day, or meet a deadline, something like that. And in that fight and flight state, our body is producing cortisol, which is our stress hormone. And the stress hormone, kind of like insulin, will also cause fat storage around the middle. So when we're in that fight and flight mode, we're producing a lot of that cortisol. And so this is also where we see things like insomnia. So we need to transition from sympathetic to parasympathetic, which is that calm nervous system. And what we have found is that beta hydroxybutyrate can actually help maintain the balance between sympathetic and parasympathetic, and actually encourages that parasympathetic or the calm state. And in that calm state, we're not pushing cortisol, our stress hormone, and we're not in that sort of fight or flight state. It calms the nervous system down, will calm the cortisol levels as well.
I absolutely love Dr. Andy. She is just phenomenal. She has been a part of our program from the very, very beginning. We have lots of naturopaths and functional medicine doctors that are prescribing these ketones to their patients. And it has just been an amazing, amazing journey to be a part of. So, fun fact, did you know that babies are born in ketosis? This is me and my little baby girl, Indy. Pregnant women produce ketones regardless of what their diet is. So ketones are the building blocks of the brain, and they are the optimal energy fuel source for our brain, our heart, and our muscles. So within the first few days after birth, babies adapt to using their fat stores as their primary fuel source, and they begin to produce more ketones. So medium chain triglycerides, which is MCT, is found in breast milk, which is converted to ketones in the liver to keep your baby in ketosis for rapid brain development. I think that is so, so interesting. So why don't we use ketones as an energy fuel source? Why don't we continue to do that? Because the diet is hard. The diet is so hard. And even if we're doing everything right nutritionally, we typically get kicked out of ketosis from not getting enough sleep, from stress and other hormonal imbalances. With this bioidentical ketone, comes in a packet like this. You simply drink it, and it's an energy fuel source that goes into your bloodstream. It gets utilized by the brain, the heart, and the muscles. You can test your blood ketone level to see for yourself that you're receiving the benefits, even if you have carbs and sugars within your body. So it works as a dual fuel source. So regardless of what your diet is, you can drink ketones and get all of these different benefits. So what are the benefits of ketones? So let's kind of go into some different categories of the benefits of ketones. So first of all, we have metabolic reset and autophagy. So what you put in your body really determines how your body is going to function. So high levels of ketosis allow for a metabolic reset, an immune system reset, and autophagy, which is the clearing out of dead cells while recreating and generating new cells. So to optimize these benefits, we encourage fasting while using our ketones. We have a ketone-infused protein that you can take. We have CMed 100, that's for the DNA repair. And then we have an advanced electrolyte that works directly with the mitochondria. So included with this is step-by-step guide on how to maximize your fast, overcome any obstacles that you may have. And we have a community of coaches that are going to do the fast with you. So this is how you're going to maximize all of these benefits. But just know, just drinking ketones, you're going to be receiving some of these different benefits. So we know 90% of medical visits are due to stress. Okay, we are so stressed and it shuts off every other system in our body because our body wants to manage that stress response. So we're shutting off reproductive function, digestive function, and immune function. So it's really important for us to figure out ways to manage our stress. Obviously, the biggest one is sleep. Ketones help so much with sleep, so much with sleep. If we're not sleeping, our bodies can't recover. They're weakened. And we know that 70% of our immune system stems from our gut. So we have to make sure we're supporting gut health overall. Ketosis can stimulate an increase of bacterial species associated with fat digestion and metabolism in the microbiome. So this improves digestive processes in the gut, and it aids to stimulation of essential immune cells. So I'm no doctor, I'm no scientist. So let's learn a little bit about ketones and oxidative stress here. This one is really good, and it is done by Dr. Angela Poff. who is also partnered with us, educating us. We lead with education on everything that we do. So we get the best doctors, the best researchers to partner with us and educate our community.
Ketones can basically reduce this oxidative stress, which is the end goal of antioxidants. And so within the past probably 5 or so years, there's really been an explosion in the amount of interest in the research in this space. And paper after paper is being published looking at this role of ketones as signaling molecules. So they're directly influencing functional effects within the cell. You can take antioxidants. People think of some of our food sources as being high in antioxidants, but it's important to know that we also make our own antioxidants. So our cells, our DNA can encode genes that then basically have those same effects as well. Beta hydroxybutyrate is what we call a histone deacetylase inhibitor. And that's a big word, but basically it means that it actually travels to the DNA and binds there and allows certain genes to be open so that those genes are expressed, so actively influencing the expression of those genes. And what we've seen in some of these studies are that a lot of the effects or some of these beneficial effects that we already know of ketosis in general. So for example, they increase the expression of our own body antioxidant genes and things like that. Ketones can kind of play into this scenario in a number of different ways. So you can have ketones that are in the blood, and then they get taken into the cell through transporters, and then they end up in the cell, or they can bind to receptors on the cell membrane. They begin to communicate with other proteins within the cell and elicit these specific effects, or they even go and bind directly to the DNA and elicit effects that way. So if you think about it, we have to constantly take in this environmental information. So there are signals to us coming in from the environment in terms of the nutrients that you are able to consume at any point in time. Tell your body a lot of information about the world. Are you in a state where you have ample access to nutrients or not? That's going to affect how your tissue treats itself and how it prepares, right? Pathogens in the environment that you may need to respond to, stressors or chemicals like carcinogens. And again, for our body to mount these appropriate responses or defenses, again, we need these chemical messengers, like the communication system within the body. And it's very complex. So cells are tiny, right? They're microscopic, but they're very complex in both their composition and their behavior. And they really require these extremely advanced levels of communication. Studies in cell culture have demonstrated this basically. And essentially what cell culture has to use is just the application of ketones that are added to the petri dish. So it would be the kind of primitive analog to an actual organism taking an exogenous ketone. Yeah, so that's what has been shown in like preclinical work. So it was shown through a signaling mechanism. Ketones actually go to the DNA at these genes where those antioxidants are encoded and basically increase our body's own defense mechanisms against oxidative stress by increasing the expression of those genes.
It is just so absolutely amazing. I love learning from all of these doctors and just furthering my education on like what's possible with our health and how to really maximize like what we can do in this lifetime and what our body is capable of. So I just love continuing to learn. So let's go into some more benefits. So muscle preservation is a big one. So body body composition matters for everyone. We want to lose fat and maintain or gain muscle. The great thing is that ketones work on both ends of that spectrum. So ketones prevent muscle breakdown while promoting something known as muscle protein synthesis, a fancy way of saying muscle building. So this is my friend Christina, and her story is absolutely amazing. It is a lot of fat loss, but look at that muscle. Like, she does not even look like the same human being. And as a result, like her mindset is completely different. So before drinking ketones, she was asked if she was pregnant when she was actually 8 months postpartum. So like physically and mentally, she's so uncomfortable with her body. She's hiding from her feelings. She doesn't look like herself anymore. She doesn't like who she sees in the mirror. It's hard when we go to that point and we just don't love who we see in the mirror anymore. She lacked energy at night because she didn't have any time. She had part-time work. She's being a mom. She's focused on all this negativity and her limitations. She just wasn't happy with herself. So when drinking ketones, she's lost over 30 pounds, 10 to 12 pant sizes. What I love about that is when people look at 30 pounds, most people don't think 10 to 12 pant sizes. But guess what? Your success is not always on the scale. Your success can come from inches and the way that you feel in your clothes. She has gained so much muscle that she's lost fat, but she's gained muscle. So her entire body composition has completely shifted for the better. And she's hanging on to that muscle, which is so, so, so important as we age. She's confident in her own skin. People are asking her if she does CrossFit. She does not do CrossFit. She just looks amazing because she likes the way she feels. She drinks ketones every single day. She's spending her time focusing on what she can do, and she's just accomplishing more than she had ever thought that she could. So that's Christina. This is my friend Amber. So let's talk a little bit about energy and focus, and then we're going to watch a little short video. This is actually one of my favorite videos because it kind of explains ketones as a whole. So you can see all the different parts of the ketones. So ketones deliver 38% more oxygen to the brain, resulting in parts of the brain lighting up that haven't been used for a while because they've only been running on glucose. We have seen brain scans of people who are in fight or flight, or their memory is like not the best. They're declining. Parts of their brain just aren't working. They drink a packet of ketones, and within 60 minutes, parts of their brain are actually lighting up and being utilized again. They're maximizing their brain because ketones are passing through their brain as an energy fuel source, which is what your brain is going to desire. Your brain is running optimally on ketones. So you have better memory, you have laser focus, you have lifted brain fog, all day natural energy, and motivation to want to do more with your day. You wake up, you drink your ketones, you feel so good that you want to do more with your day. So this is my friend Amber. And she says before drinking ketones, she was tired. She was an exhausted mom who was addicted to energy drinks. She had 4 monsters a day. She was extremely overweight. She spent a majority of her day in bed. She did. She would, like, her before pictures, that's just her face. Like, you guys have to see like her entire body, what she looked like and how she held herself. It's completely different human being. Ketones have brought out purpose in Amber. They have brought out this glow in Amber. Her mom guilt was just like so heavy on her heart because she just knew her kids deserved better. We have to show up as the best version of us so we can show up as the best version of us for other people as well. And that's how we inspire other people to become better. So since drinking ketones, Amber's down 100 pounds. She doesn't even drink energy drinks anymore. She has energy and drive to be the mom that she always wanted to be. She's looking forward to making more memories with her family, now being able to play with grandbabies because she found ketones. You guys, that is absolutely amazing. And I want you to watch this video. This is going to bring ketones as a whole so you can see not just the energy, the focus, the fat loss, but all like cognition and everything, how it can completely change your life just by drinking ketones.
Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm Dr. Ryan Lowry, for those of you who don't know. A little bit about myself and background. We've been doing research on ketosis, the ketogenic diet, and ketones for over a decade. And so we started looking at a ketogenic diet and saw all of these incredible benefits. And soon we started realizing it was ketones, BHB, that was driving a lot of the benefits of the ketogenic diet. And so together as a team with Prove It, we brought ketones to the market, which is absolutely amazing. And I couldn't be more excited. Without further ado, I want to talk quickly about some of the benefits of ketones and what separates Prove It from other ketones that are out there. Well, first and foremost, we know that as we get older, our brain isn't able to utilize glucose and carbohydrates as well. And after the age of 30, the older we get and the worse our diet is, the more resistant our brain is to glucose and carbohydrates. It's almost as if our brain is starving for energy, but we just need to provide it the right source of fuel. And that fuel that it still can utilize is ketones. And so studies show that as we get older, our brain is able to still utilize ketones when it's not able to utilize carbohydrates and glucose as well. So that's first and foremost, is that ketones are a superior fuel source to carbohydrates and glucose. The second thing I want to touch on is hunger or satiety. We all live in a state now where we have food available to us all the time, right? We have friends, family members, or even ourselves who are hungry all the time. And you want to snack and you want to eat, and that drives obesity, that drives complications. We'd love to live in a world where we aren't as hungry all the time, or we are in control of our appetite. Ketones give us that control. And studies show that ketones suppress our appetite. They decrease hunger. They decrease cravings, particularly sugar cravings. Because of the way they're acting inside of our brain, they're blunting our hunger. So people tend to eat less, which overall is going to improve our health and our longevity. The third one I want to talk about is one that's really interesting. We will be talking a lot about this more so, is that ketones are signaling molecules, right? Imagine a light switch that you turn on and off. Well, as we get older, the genes inside of our body, our DNA, the light switch starts to get turned off over time. Ketones are not just a fuel source. They are signaling molecules that help keep the light switch on. And study after study shows that ketones are acting as signaling molecules that not only can help with longevity and lifespan by keeping the light switch on, but also have other signaling cascades far beyond what most people recognize, right? And so those are just three mechanisms by which ketones work, and there's so many more, and you're going to be hearing from a lot of other people talking about different benefits of ketones. But again, just looking at the increased brain and energy and cognitive function that ketones can provide us, that can apply to 99% of people. On top of that, who would love to suppress their hunger or lower their hunger and decrease cravings? All of us. And then on top of that, if that wasn't enough, one of the reasons that we look at ketones as a technology versus a supplement is because the signaling capabilities, the other aspects that ketones have are just absolutely amazing and profound. Now, the last thing I want to touch on is what makes Prove It different from other ketones that are out there, because there are other ketones that are out there. Well, one thing to note is our body, when we're on a ketogenic diet, makes one form of ketones, and that is the D form of beta hydroxybutyrate. It is the form that our body naturally makes when it's in a ketogenic state. And if you guys that are watching this could do me a favor, hold out your hands in front of you, right? If you hold up your hands in front of you, they are mirror images of one another, right? But if you try and put it over each other, it's not identical. The same thing happens with ketones. Other companies that are out there are giving a mixture. They're giving both the D form and what we call the L form. It's called a mixed isomer. But our bodies naturally produce only the D form. Prove It is the only company who's using 100% of not only the D form, a naturally fermented process of the D form. It is a naturally fermented ketone. We are the only ones who have a naturally fermented process. And two, we are the only ones using the active isomer. And if that was enough Our formulations are specific. We include other things inside of them to help support ketones and their action. So I promise you guys this. Prove it in our ketone technology. We're not stopping here. This is the best there is now. We're already looking decades into the future to figure out how we can continue to innovate, how we can continue to make this better. And I couldn't be more excited. So I appreciate each and every one of you. Welcome to the Prove It family. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon.
So amazing. Okay, and they are right when they say they continue to innovate. The different things that we have now just blow my mind. We have everything that we're talking about with the ketones, plus we have ones that have more, which I'll talk about these at the very end. Let's get a couple more stories in here. So fat loss. This is my friend Melissa Butler. So all of our bodies are so beautifully different that the only diet that works is the one that will actually stick to. So BHB impacts your hunger hormones to biohack your body. So ketones are going to signal to your body what it needs for survival, not what you've conditioned yourself to think that you need. So your cravings are going to shift, your eating window will shorten, and your portion sizes will become smaller unintentionally. That is really, really important because a lot of these times we're told what to eat, how to eat, when to eat, and it confuses our body because all of our bodies are so different. So nobody can tell you what to eat, when to eat, how to eat, except for you. And when you drink pure therapeutic ketones, you are activating within yourself what you need for survival, what your body needs to nourish it. And we're all slightly different. And so it's important to listen to your body, eat when you're hungry, stop when you're full. When something doesn't feel good in your body and it's not giving you energy, that means that that item is not great for you. So we start to shift away from it because we start to eat more of the things that make us feel good. So let's check out Melissa here. The last time she felt this good was in her 20s. So that's when she's doing all the stuff that's before kids, feels like a lifetime ago. So enter children. Everything changed for her. She wouldn't trade it for the world, but throw together her age, hormones, postpartum, stress, mom guilt for investing in yourself, and you just become lost. You become lost in who you are because now you're a mom and you don't know how to still be this person that you were before that felt so amazing, but you love this new chapter of your life too. It is such a hard but most beautiful transition ever, becoming a mom. And so Melissa was just lost. She was exhausted. And she just thought that's the way it was going to be. She is actually a school counselor. She found this drink and it has completely transformed her body physically and her self-confidence from having 4 babies. It's just given her this gift to like help other people. She's an educator. She's into counseling. She loves to help others. And so she does something similar to me with helping other people find their best quality of life through ketosis. She never dreamed that it would be as amazing as it is now. She's a homeschool mom and she just has that confidence. You can see it in that below picture. She is an absolute beautiful human being. Okay, so another benefit is mood. This is a good one. This hits me in the heart because I used to be an educator that had a lot of kids in my classroom that had a hard home life. And so let's just read about mood a little bit. So what ketones do for your mood just might be my favorite benefit because it can take someone in their lowest lows and slowly assist them to joy, happiness, and purpose in life. You see relationships mend and families come together. Ketosis encourages the increased production of GABA, reducing neurotoxicity, helping with the brain fog and alleviating conditions like mood swings and low energy. Because when we feel low and we don't feel our best, we all know that everything starts with a thought. Once we have that thought, it's going to trigger some emotions. When our emotions are triggered, that is now going to be our action that we take. Our actions are then our results that we have. And so it's really, really, really important to control our mood and our stress and to feel good from the inside out. So Noelle here, so near and dear to my heart. So before she started drinking ketones, so January 2022, she hasn't been drinking ketones for very long. She felt helpless, hopeless. She had zero left in her. And when I say zero, she's saying she didn't even want to exist on this planet anymore. She had no idea that she could drink something, it would completely change her life. She was willing to try anything. She was sad, she was uncomfortable, she hated how she looked, she canceled plans, refused to go out. She would cry when she got dressed because she never felt pretty or deserving. Let me tell you, when I say I know for a fact that beauty isn't determined by your outer appearance, it was struggling as a whole, internally, externally, physically, mentally, emotionally. I know Noelle's story, so it's making me tear up reading this, and it's giving me goosebumps. I'm gonna try and get through it. I just couldn't stand to look in the mirror one more day when I saw what I saw on the outside and on the inside. Since drinking ketones, I've lost 55 pounds and I feel amazing. Finding confidence has been life-changing. It allowed me to share my story in front of hundreds, meeting the most amazing friends. I put on the damn dress and I feel like I look beautiful for the first time ever. I actually met Noelle at this event and she got up on stage and she told her story, and giving her purpose in life and allowing her access to our community and access to like what her true potential is just completely everything. So we're going to watch one last video and then we're going to wrap this up. So this is going to be ketones and mood. This is a really great video and this will be the last one and then we'll wrap this up.
Beyond all of the other benefits that we know about ketones, one of the main ones that is really, really interesting, and we're starting to see a lot of emerging research on, is the mood stabilizing properties that ketones themselves have. And so not only does a ketogenic diet have mood stabilizing properties, but new studies are showing that that response is likely driven from ketones themselves, and they're doing studies with exogenous ketones seeing these same properties, working on certain neurotransmitters and receptors in the brain that have been shown to boost mood. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter in our brain that we commonly refer to as like the happy hormone, right? So when we're feeling good, we get this huge rush of dopamine. And one of the things about being in a state of ketosis is it doesn't bring you to too highs, and it certainly doesn't bring you down like some of these other things that increase dopamine or mess with serotonin. Instead, it has ketones have mood stabilizing properties in the sense that they kind of balance out these neurotransmitters. And there was a recent study where they took exogenous ketones and injected them into mice, and they found that it actually helped stabilize some of these neurotransmitters in a mouse model of depression, where they were looking at these animals and they were able to increase some of this dopamine and allow them to stabilize their mood and increase their function, which is very, very promising. One of the things we know about exogenous ketones is not only are they a fuel source for the brain, but they're also signaling molecules, right? They're acting on certain aspects of our DNA, but they're also signaling various different cascades throughout our entire body, one of which we believe is neurotransmitters inside of the brain. And so one of the mechanisms by which ketones may be acting on some of these neurotransmitters and stabilizing mood and function is through this signaling cascade. So again, that's why it's really important to not only look at ketones as a fuel. It's one of the reasons that ketones aren't a supplement, they are a technology, because they're having so many different benefits, and not only providing a fuel source, not only acting on certain receptors of the brain to help with things like appetite regulation, but also having signaling cascades that may be contributing to some of this new and emerging research we're seeing with mood. oftentimes when we're not eating good quality foods and often eating high amounts of sugar and carbohydrates, we often ride that roller coaster, right? Of really high and really low. We get that sugar crash. Well, what happens when you get that sugar crash is you often get angry and you get irritated. And a lot of that could be due to depletion of things like serotonin and dopamine. A lot of it is because your blood sugar is low. Well, fortunately, we now have the access and the capability to provide an alternative source of fuel, right? We're able to fuel the brain in a much better way, not only from a fuel standpoint, but likely being able to balance out and help balance some of those neurotransmitters with the signaling effects that ketones can have. And so rather than having those huge ups and those huge downs, oftentimes we can mitigate those frustrations and that anger and some of those mood swings by allowing us to balance out those neurotransmitters, which has now been shown not only to be done with a ketogenic diet, but also with exogenous ketones. Previously, we've known that there's been a good amount of research on a ketogenic diet and things like just mood in general. And now, because of Prove It and the research and the explosion of ketones into the market, we're starting to see more research and more science on the benefits of ketones themselves on some of these other aspects of mood and things like anxiety. So again, it's really, really promising. Prove It's leading a lot of the innovation and a lot of the science forward, along with some of the research we're doing here at ASPI to allow people to figure out how to optimize that, right? If you don't want to go strictly on a ketogenic diet, can you still see some of those benefits with exogenous ketones? Or hey, what if you do both? Can it be synergistic? Can you do a ketogenic diet and supplement exogenous ketones on top of it to see an overall better result? And that's what we're continuing to study, and we will continue to see over the upcoming months and upcoming years as more and more research gets done.
So amazing. So amazing. Okay, so here are just some of the benefits of ketones. We've gone over most of these. If you would like more information, I have doctor videos on every single one of the benefits. So I can send you something that is exactly geared towards what benefit you are looking for to optimize most. So here are some FAQs. So this is going to round out this presentation. Can you take too many ketones? The answer is no. So our ketones are actually water soluble. So your body is just going to pee out whatever it is that you do not utilize. So you cannot overdose on taking too many ketones. However, you do want to keep up with your hydration. Hydration is really, really important. And it's not just water, it's also electrolytes. Super important that you're keeping up with any kind of electrolytes or nutrients or minerals that you are releasing when you're detoxing. So I always suggest that people take our advanced electrolyte that we have. It's going to replenish all of those electrolytes and those nutrients. It works directly with the mitochondria, which is the powerhouse of your cells, to really help prime your cells to use what it is that you are drinking. Most of the time, our cells are not actually primed to absorb the nutrients that we're taking. So we're not receiving the nutrients from our food and our supplements. We're not even absorbing our water correctly because our cells are not primed. So we have a biohack for that to really open up those cells and to prime them to absorb the things that you need to. And when you have your hydration down and you have your electrolytes balanced, amazing things can happen. It takes away headaches, it takes away any kind of cramping, and it really aids in that fat loss. Who can take ketones? We say they are safe from womb to tomb. I took a packet of ketones into my doctor when I was pregnant and said, this is what I've been doing. If you are pregnant, trying to get pregnant, please work with your healthcare provider. My doctor said, Sarah, you're one of the healthiest women that's ever walked through my door. Continue to drink your ketones daily, and I would love to give these to my other patients. So when you're working with a naturopath or a functional medicine doctor, you might notice that they really, really, really encourage pure therapeutic ketones, especially ours, because ours are the only bioidentical ones in the world. So anybody can take ketones. My daughter's 4. She drinks ketones every single day because of the cognition part of it. It helps her think clearly. And she even says, Mommy, my brain's a little broken today. I think I need some more ketones. So it's amazing. We have people in their 90s that are drinking ketones to really help with their memory and with muscle preservation. So safe for everyone to drink. But if you have something going on with your body where you're working with a doctor, please always work with your healthcare provider. When is the best time to take ketones? I always say 30 minutes before you want to feel your best. I start my day with ketones because I want to feel good first thing in the morning. So I drink my ketones on an empty stomach. It's going to accelerate your fast. So it doesn't break your fast, it accelerates your fast. So it makes it so you continue that intermittent fasting. And it makes it so you just really feel your best, just like all of those videos have said. They are a great pre-workout because you're going to maximize your workout. Ketones work better when you're moving your body. So whether that's going for a walk, cleaning your house, or going to the gym, or going on a hike, whatever it may be that you do for movement, ketones are going to work just that much better when you are moving your body. So take it 30 minutes before you want to feel your best. Some people take them right before sleep. The caffeine-free version you would take before sleep. That's going to help you get REM sleep, put you in a state of ketosis before you go to bed. Do I have to change your diet? Just like you said, just like you saw in those videos, you do not have to do the ketogenic diet. Whatever diet works for you is the diet that you need to do. Whatever one makes you feel your best, just stick to that. I always say, don't change anything. Just drink ketones when you start doing this. And as a result, you'll naturally want better for yourself. You'll naturally want to move your body. You'll naturally lean towards different food items. You'll naturally eat later in the day. You won't have those cravings at night. So it's more maintainable when you don't try and change everything at once. So you can have carbs in your body and you can still get the benefits of ketosis because, like I said before, you're drinking a bioidentical ketone that's going directly into your bloodstream. How can I test my ketone level? There is those little pee strips. I do not encourage those when you're drinking an exogenous ketone. If you are producing them endogenously, the pee strips are great. However, if you are drinking them, it could create a false positive because you could be just peeing them right out. So I always say a blood ketone meter so you can see exactly your level of ketosis because it's the ketones that are in your bloodstream. So you can get one of those online if you are someone that likes to see the numbers. How long will it take to see fat loss results? I love this question because all of our bodies are so beautifully different. We have different imbalances. Ketones are working 100% of the time. It's science. It's our natural fuel source. You have to stick to it for 30, 60, 90 days because we're all going to experience benefits at different times. They're working on the imbalances within your body. Our body needs to be able to signal better. And as we age, we didn't get to where we're at overnight. So you're not going to get to your results overnight either. It's going to take time. Your body needs to go through it, needs to balance things out. It needs to clean things out. If you have aches and you have pains, like ketones are going to go to that first. So you might not feel the energy right away because it's going towards an imbalance that you have in your body. It's gearing what your specific body needs, which leads me to the point that you do experience fat loss. However, if somebody does not want to lose weight, my 4-year-old doesn't need to lose weight, it's going to do what your body naturally needs to do. Because this is a natural fuel source, if you don't have fat to lose, you won't lose fat. You will be preserving muscle. You will be using it more as like a cognition. So you'll be using it as like the DNA repair. You'll be using it for the energy. You'll be using it for good sleep. You'll be using it to calm down your nervous system. So it's always specifically towards your body because it's a fuel source. It's not just a regular supplement out there. It is a fuel source. So it's going to determine exactly what you need and target that. So the fat loss comes with time. I've seen people lose weight. I shouldn't say lose weight because it's more like lose fat. I've seen people lose fat in a very short period of time. And I've seen people not get the experiences that they are looking for possibly 5, 6, 7 weeks. And then they experience what's called the whoosh effect. So what happens is our body it's detoxing. So it's going through those cells, especially if we're taking those advanced electrolytes and ketones together, we're priming our cells to absorb the nutrients that we need. And it is cleaning out those cells. So you are detoxing And while you are detoxing, the cell gets a little bit confused and it could fill with water. So when it fills with water, that's way better than toxins. It's filling up with water because it's in kind of a protective mode. It's confused. You haven't had this fuel source since possibly you were born. You've been running off of glucose your entire life, stress and not enough sleep, and now you're using your optimal fuel source. It takes some time to adjust to it. So what I call the whoosh effect is when that cell full of water, no longer toxins, you've already detoxed those out, it collapses. And then your body starts utilizing the ketones and those cells are collapsed. You're having the autophagy, so it's cleaning out those old cells. It's creating new cells. And it's exactly what you need for your body, but we all experience that fat loss at a different time. So stick to it. Overcome these little challenges you might have, which if you get a little bit of a headache, just know that is part of the detoxing as well. And it usually leads to dehydration. Water doesn't always help. It's the balance of those electrolytes. So we need to make sure we're replenishing your electrolytes, and we get you connected with our advanced electrolyte, which works 100% of the time. Anytime I feel a headache coming on, a cramp coming on, a little bit of dehydration, if I'm on vacation and the climate is different, it's all about that advanced electrolyte, and I feel better within a matter of time. And then lastly is your digestion might be something that you have to overcome because again, you're going to be detoxing, and detoxing looks different for everyone. Some people are going to detox through their breath. Some people are going to detox through their urine. Some people are going to detox through their poop, and some people are going to detox through their skin. And it's different for everyone. So if you know if you see a little bit of redness in your skin, that might be the toxins immediately trying to get out of your body. It's a good thing. Okay. If you notice that you're having to run to the bathroom a little bit, it's because your body is wanting to clear that out faster than what is comfortable. What I always suggest people do is add more water, make sure you have your electrolytes, drink your ketones slower, and maybe start with a half packet. So if you're having any kind of digestion problems, it's a good thing because it's detoxing, but maybe you just need to start a little bit smaller. And that is it. So become the best version of you. I'm here to do a free phone call with you to hear your goals, to customize a month's supply of ketones based on whatever it is that you want out of this. If you are in Jennifer Hawk's health group, just know that you can get her discount as well. So I just need you to text BioHack with Ketones to 208-899-1796. This is my personal phone number. So if you text BioHack with Ketones, I'll set up a phone call with you. We will customize a package that's best for you. You will get a heavy discount for being a part of this program. And just know you can text me anytime. We ship to 40 different countries. So my phone is going off all the time. I have it silenced. You're not going to bother me at all whatsoever. I am passionate about helping people find the best version of themselves. So please, please, please shoot me a message, and I cannot wait to work with you. Thank you very much for your time, and everyone have an amazing day. It is a really good day to have a good day.